now that we've had this time, we've gone through the values of those red rods, the values of the white rods, how we can determine the value of each and that division equation. We're going to have the students move into a partner or a small group activity. What I have out right now is the non-modified fraction spinner, as well as the student recording sheet. So to do this activity, students are going to randomly select a Cuisenaire rod. So I'm going to say that I'm going to start with the yellow. So if I start with a yellow rod and I assume that it's worth, I'm going to spin my spinner. So I assume that my yellow rod is worth 1/5. I can equally partition, and this is once again where we're going to have our kids kind of try to, this is going to kind of be trial and error. I'm remembering that I learned from our POSA problem that I'm going to select rods that are smaller than my hole to help me partition. And so I can start with my yellow rod, assume it's worth 1/5. I can equally partition it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white rods. So each of these rods is worth. So once again, I'm going to build my hole. In order to build my hole, I'm going to have to build 5 yellows across. For the sake of time, I'm not going to build every single one of my whites. I know that they're partitioned into 5, so I can say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And one of them, so one white rod, would be worth 1/25. So thinking that this is the non-modified spinner, if I have students that aren't going to be able to make that generalization yet and still need to build out that hole, I would use my modified spinner. For example, if I had that fraction of 1/2, I would have been able to build out all 10 of my white rods. So students are going to go through each of these as they're working. Once again, as the teacher, refer back to that lesson. There are some guiding questions that you can use. You can continue to have them talk about what operations are reflected with the Cuisenaire rods.